Dr. Axelrod, your assessment of the patient. Dr. Wade.
Liver function tests aren't normal.
We already heard that. I'm asking for an assessment here. Dr. Morrison.
Ascending cholangitis should be considered.
Good.
Mr. Spooner, you're not supposed to be out of your bed.
Henry insisted, even though he says he's not feeling well.
Last week, you people did everything but poke me with a cattle prod so I'd walk.
We appreciate your enthusiasm, but you're winded. Maybe pushing too hard.
I'll take Mr. Spooner back to his room.
Let's keep moving. I'm finding the presentation sloppy this morning. Your performance lackluster.
Gideon, the guy sure cooks. Well, that's fine with me. As soon as we're through, I'm out of here. I've been on call for 36 hours. I've had 4 hours sleep.
Dr. Axelrod.
What is that crack?
Elliot, you're on.
Come on, Dr. Axelrod.
Yes, sir. Brett Johnson, white male, 30, AIDS outpatient, recently admitted after he was gay bashed. Rib injuries resulted in pneumonia.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
It's you. I've had the trot since last night.
That's the side effects of the medication.
Can you come back?
Someone will stop by later. Chart, Dr. Axelrod.
Yes, sir.
AZT treatments have depressed Mr. Johnston's white count.
That's why he's having trouble fighting the pneumonia.
Stop the AZT until his condition improves.
Mr. Spooner's back under the covers. Dr. Craig's with him now.
Next patient.
Amy Jeffrey, 71, white female, admitted with a broken hip. Dr. Stanley performed a prosthetic replacement operation.
Dr. Morrison, this operation was 10 days ago.
Yes, sir. She's right over here.
I mean, there are no complications, no underlying medical problems. She should be discharged.
Mr. Jeffries has been slow to mobilize on her new hip.
Then she should be in a convalescent home. They're well equipped to handle this sort of thing. It's time this hospital shed the old image. St. Eligius will no longer be a dumping ground. And that begins with every one of you. Rounds are dismissed. Axelrod.
Yes! First-year resident. Wait till second year. That's when the hours really take their toll. Boy, I can't wait to get out of here. Jump into my nice, soft bed. Recharge, you know what I mean?
Dr. Ehrlich, could you tell us a little more about Mr. Spooner's condition?
Mr. Spooner's still ticking away. 24 days. 18 hours and 17 minutes after the Craig 9000 was implanted in his chest. I feel like Shorty Powers at Cape Canaveral.
How are his spirits?
Little bourbon, straight up.
What about Mrs. Spooner?
She's standing by her husband's side looking beautiful. I'm sorry, that was a sexist remark. She's standing by his side looking thoughtful.
Nothing else?
She did say he doesn't snore anymore. He used to sound like a diesel. Seriously, Mr. Spooner's been through the shredder, and though I hate to fawn, I must say I admire the man. Everything's A-OK, all systems are go. And I'm afraid I'm out of time. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got that bill?
Yeah, I'm just going to go right down.
Good.
Mr. Mitchell, I'm Dr. Griffin.
He has nausea, vomiting, general weakness.
I've been fighting this for 3 weeks. Today the pain got worse. Hit me right at the opening bell.
You boxer?
Broker.
Bonds, stocks.
Breathe.
I can't even keep down a glass of water. I feel like I'm dying.
Well, a case of the heaves will definitely ruin your morning.
Hey, I'm serious, all right?
Settle down.
Last week, a guy my age dropped dead on the trading floor. Right in the middle of a 2-for-1 split. He's standing there yelling, "Buy, buy!" Then he's gone. A blood vessel in his brain. I don't want to die. I don't want to be next.
Look.
I climbed all the way back from the October crash.
We'll run some tests.
On the fast track. Still in my peak earning years.
Hang on.
Want me to call inside?
Why? He's just scared of dying before he's successful, I can relate. Well, let's admit him and start a complete blood workup.
Okay, but if you ask me, the man's missing a few shares.
Pill time.
Lucy, you're late. I've been here for 3 weeks and I know your schedule to the minute.
No pizzazz this morning. How about you? Still doing the Montezuma Mambo?
I can triple jump to the bathroom.
Dr. Axelrod gave me your med change.
No Morazy tea for a while, huh?
Not until your pneumonia clears up.
That's great. My breathing will be easier, but the AIDS may reassert itself. Last time I checked out of here, I really thought I was cured. I started putting on weight, exercising. My mind was clear. Now the down cycle starts again. Only my health may never bounce back. Think I'll live to see the next president?
I'm not sure the president will live to see the next president.
Atta girl. Red delicious.
Mark.
You had to barge in here like you were shot out of a cannon. Flash is skittish around meal times.
I understand you let Dr. Ehrlich brief the reporters. Why aren't you talking to them?
Ehrlich is perfectly capable of fielding pop flies from the press.
I offered you the artificial heart program because you have vision and drive. Thought you'd embrace the program totally.
More bells and whistles, isn't it?
My primary concern is Henry Spooner. Bumped into him this morning on rounds, dragging his butt up and down the hall.
What do you want me to do? Put armed guards on his door?
I just want you more involved.
Don't tell me how to treat my patients. I checked on Spooner.
Any idea why he's losing blood?
Probably an ulcer. McDonough from Gastro is going to take a look at him. Well, I'm sorry, girl. I just have to get some more apples from the cafeteria. By the way, when is Ellen coming back from Peterborough?
Not sure.
You are seeing her, aren't you?
It's none of your business.
Are you having any discomfort?
A little, but not like when I fell. Ooh. Should have been watching my step on that old throw rug.
The joint seems to be moving freely.
Mm-hmm. You know that I watched you your very first day here?
You have been at St. Alicia's before?
Oh, no, I have an apartment across the street, and I spend most of my time watching everything that goes on at St. Alicia's. I always felt the people here will take care of me.
Mrs. Jeffries, there is no real reason for you to stay here any longer.
I have to leave?
Is there someone we can call?
What?
You need physical therapy. We could call a convalescent home.
That won't be necessary.
Do you have help?
Well, I have a friend her daughter was a private nurse, but it's a long time ago, and I don't know if she's still...
Would you excuse us?
Certainly.
Discharge Mrs. Jeffries today.
I'd like to keep her a few more days. Get her moving.
The hospital cannot afford to waste resources on this case.
I disagree.
We got the pictures right here.
You asked for a consult, John. Discharge her.
Coming in for landing.
Love you, Bob.
Whoa, touch and go.
I'm a busy beaver.
Dr. Ehrlich, I'd like a word with you about the artificial heart.
I have to wait until the next press briefing. And that's Ehrlich with a CH, not a K.
Well, I'm not a reporter. I'm an inventor.
Don't ask me what the 9000's made of. The company wants to keep the chemical composition a secret.
Long-chain vanadium-3, silicon, and Nilex.
How do you know that? A Craig 9000, where did you get that?
I built it.
Yeah, and I slept with the TV evangelist.
If you don't believe that, maybe you'll believe this. I got a gun.
Elliot? Yeah, it's a real rocket ship.
Elliot, wake up.
Oh, 5 more minutes, Grandma.
Dr. Alan Winter. Dr. Alan Winter, 4123.
You mean it's not a rumor?
Wish it were.
Just because a corporation has a name that sounds like Ecumena, they can make you change yours?
Argument is they had the name first.
But it's not the same name.
Seems crazy to me, too. We're fighting it. Excuse me, Dr. Wade. When did you get back?
Oh, hi. Late last night. The roads from Peterborough were sheet ice.
We're at your mother's house?
Very nice couple.
I have a willy for a box of Junior Mints. Thought you were going to stay longer.
Well, my job's here. Besides, I missed you.
Makes two of us. Dinner tonight?
I've been wanting to try the Louisiana jambalaya at PB Sharon's.
Fine.
Start smoking again in New Hampshire?
On the way up, I found an old pack in the glove compartment. No rebuke? No, I'm disappointed in you, Ellen?
I'm not Mark.
May I have my money back, please?
Hey, the place is worth at least $250K. No, I'm not taking paper. I wouldn't cross the street for that price, Arthur.
A lot of energy for a guy who's just blown his last 2 meals.
Actually, I'm having trouble breathing. Chest is tighter than SEC rules. Maybe I should be on oxygen?
That's really not necessary.
I'm telling you, I can't breathe. I'm sweating. My pulse is racing.
Okay.
Dr. Griffin, you find out what's wrong with me?
Actually, that's why I dropped by. The corporation that took over St. Eligius contracted to do outside lab work.
Smart. Using existing facilities to generate new income, huh? Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah.
Well, with the extra work, hematology's all backed up. Your results will take a while longer. Listen, Ecumena went public a few weeks ago. Well, you're a broker. What do you think? Is it worth picking up some shares?
Stock's a bagel. Madly overpriced. Don't waste your paycheck. Why, you looking for an investment?
Well, I'd like to make a buck.
Real estate.
Where?
South End. Condo. Turn of the century building. Original hardwood floors. Working FPL. 2 BRs. 1.5 BAs.
Sounds great.
240.
That's way out of my league right now.
I refinished the place myself.
You moving?
Liquidating.
I don't understand.
Well, since I'm gonna die, I have to know my net worth. Condo, car, stock. I'm selling every single thing I own. I'm cashing out.
This is the flu and cold season. You should be dressed warmer. Home, sweet home.
What are you going to do with me?
Please don't
Kill me.
I don't have a gun.
What are you, nuts?
No, desperate.
Yeah, tell that to the police.
Now, please. You're here. Listen to me, and then you can go if you want to.
What, artificial body parts are your thing?
My calling.
I had a shop teacher once had a glass eye.
You see, my latest inspiration. The whole idea is computer chip interfacing with the human neurological system. The big trick is the opposable thumb. Don't get him started.
Who's that?
Herkimer.
Excuse me?
Herkimer Jerkimer. Who's this dummy? Dr. Ehrlich. One of those schnooks who's implanting the artificial heart, which looks suspiciously like the one Mr. Knox and I created.
Wait, you're saying Ecumena stole your invention?
Sit down, Ehrlich. We want to talk.
Marguerite, the hospital has people to do that.
Just want to neaten things.
Come and sit with me.
Like to read some mail?
No, just sit.
You overdid it this morning.
Who knows? Who can tell? I'm the only human being alive with an artificial heart. Thanks to you.
If I hadn't let them implant the heart, we wouldn't have had this time together.
you. I'm glad to. But not again, Marguerite. Always were a beautiful woman. USO party, 1945.
I thought you were another loud boy with a loud shirt just back from the war.
You were right. Then when we met, you made an effect. I'd go crazy about something, and I'd look at you, and I'd realize that it was going to be okay. You never had to say a word. You've always been a strength. You're getting my blood up.
Shall I stop?
For now.
We'll read some get well cards. This one's from Apalachicola, Florida.
I love you.
You're supposed to be working.
Snuck out of the museum for a long coffee break. Wanted to see you.
Cold cheeks.
Forecast is for snow. What you reading? Book on AIDS. That's uplifting.
Can you fix these?
Fell asleep, rolled over on him again.
Typical bonehead move.
How much longer you stuck here?
Straight patients held a meeting. They're throwing me out at dawn.
What?
You know, sometimes you have zero humor.
You know, when you do get out of here, we should definitely travel. Go someplace warm.
That's a terrible idea.
Go to St. Bart's. Why?
What am I gonna do, Kevin? Am I gonna sit on the beach with an IV bottle in my arm?
Being in the sun will make you feel better.
Who's gonna pay for this?
I will.
Kevin, you're already supporting us.
I'll dip into my savings.
What savings? And thanks.
Just think about the Caribbean, okay? I'll stop by after work.
Go see a movie and take someone out to dinner. You don't have to come back to this rat hole.
Close out my money market. Transfer to savings. Close out interest checking. No. Interest doesn't compound till the end of the business day. What if I don't last that long? Better transfer now.
Mr. Mitchell.
Short.
I'm too, but I don't let it bother me.
Here. Quartz movement. Lizard band. Classic Cartier.
What are you doing?
I can't kiss it away, but I'll give you a good deal.
You better get in there.
No, you don't understand. I'm getting closer to the finish line here.
People with your symptoms aren't usually near death.
It's not what I'm talking about. I've sold just about everything. There's still a chance. 7 figures is within reach. I have to top $1 million.
Why is that so important to you?
Are you kidding? A millionaire by 30? You know what the competition's like? Now, how much for the watch?
Mrs. Jeffries?
Oh, hello, Dr. Ken. Thought he might catch a chill.
You've been waiting here an awful long time. Is someone picking you up?
No.
Do you have any family?
No.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
He's short of breath, experiencing chills and vomiting.
I want to see the latest hematocrit and blood gas.
Bloated, Craig. This engine's missing a few tablets.
The heart's working perfectly.
I'm telling you. My gears are stripped and all seized up.
You're anemic due to blood loss from the ulcer.
I don't feel human anymore.
You're imagining it, Mr. Spooner. Don't worry, we'll get through this together.
Come here. Closer. I want you to know what it would really be like to go through this mighty enterprise together.
I've waited a long time to show these to someone I could trust.
Why trust me?
I've seen you on the news. You appear sympathetic.
Yeah, and you're too stupid to be smart.
You got some major coronary hardware here.
My first workable prototype, mid-50s.
Looks like a cocktail shaker.
The blood was pumped by intermittent compression of the polyurethane sacs. Oh, for that model, I thought I'd solved all the problems. But it was the late 60s. I was doing a lot of experimenting. I thought I'd solved the world's problems. That was early 70s. Teflon-coated metal. Too hard to adapt anatomically. Caused excessive hemolysis in the lab tests.
You're really serious about this, aren't you?
Right, Barry Ehrlich?
Hey there. I started out as an amateur ventriloquist.
And you're still an amateur.
I built Herkimer and threw my voice into him. I made mechanical objects live, so it was just a short step to making living objects mechanical.
And nobody gives us any recognition.
I took my most advanced heart prototype to Ecumena, showed them my designs, and I thought they could make the dream come true.
What happened?
Never heard from the saps again.
When I learned that you were implanting an artificial heart, and I saw how similar your design was to mine.
Oh, ho, ho.
Well, tell me, what can I do?
Help me be heard. I don't want all the credit. History's been made. But after all my effort and care, shouldn't I at least get a footnote?
This is nice of you, Dr. Kim. The food's very good here. You know, better than I make for myself.
Mrs. Jeffries, until your mobility returns, I really think you should stay in a convalescent home.
All those old people like me. No, I'd rather stay here.
I know, but
after all these years, you see, I'm getting to meet the people that I watched out of my window. And, oh, I like everyone here so much. Nice company.
How long have you lived alone?
Oh, since Frank died. That's a long, long time ago. And I haven't really been alone until this last year when Sparky died. My sweet canary.
Do you miss him?
Oh, yes. Sparky could sing all day. make up the most pleasant melodies. It was... Well, now it's quiet. And I just sit. Maybe it's my fault.
What is?
Oh, being lonely, shut in, being afraid to venture out of my apartment.
That's understandable.
But you see, I got used to being locked inside, never being involved in anything. No way to contribute, as you do. That's why I enjoy it here. I can become a part of these people's lives. Offer advice, or listen. Dr. Kim, this will sound odd, but my accident, one of the best things that ever happened to me.
You're having the veal. It's very tender.
Maybe I should be the judge of that.
You all right, Mark?
I've been better.
My mother's will is being executed. You're getting something.
What? A collection of true detective magazines?
No. She left you my father's old hunting rifle.
Oh, that's nice. What am I supposed to do with a gun?
Dunno. Anyway, it'll be yours. Enjoy the veal.
Ellen? About that night at the boxing gym. I mean, you left before we had a chance to speak.
Well, I made sure you were still breathing.
Why'd you show up there anyway?
Isn't it obvious, Mark? I was concerned.
All I remember is the tar getting kicked out of me and looking over and seeing you. The side of your face.
Do you mind if I sit?
As a matter of fact, Ellen and I are talking. You're seeing him, aren't you?
Yes.
He wasn't even man enough to admit it to me.
Dr. Craig, it's Mr. Spooner. You'd better get up there.
I'm restless. It's depressing being around hospital patients all the time.
I'm just here to see a lot of nude people.
How can you really care about all these strangers?
Well, some I care about more than others.
You like what you do, otherwise you'd walk away from it.
Walk? If I didn't like being a nurse, Wilma Rudolph couldn't catch me.
All right, but still, this has been your choice. See, I know Kevin feels obligated to watch over me.
The guy loves you.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that he should feel free to live his own life. I don't want to be a burden.
When Victor and I got married, it was for better or worse in sickness or health. How would you feel if the situations were reversed?
Victor's not my type.
Very funny.
If Kevin were the one to have AIDS, I'd stand by him. And that's why I'm breaking up with him.
Hello, Luther.
Hey, thought you weren't coming till next week.
Yeah, how much post-op recuperation can a person take? I'm starting slowly, half a day.
I wouldn't bother going to your office. Just to press you.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of work.
Drain pipe broke in the 4th floor men's room. Only no one knew about it until the sewage started seeping into the hall from your office. Welcome back.
What is it this time? I think my heart's slowing down.
Look, like I told you when you got me to hook you up to the heart monitor, your pulse rate is fine.
Just take a listen. Please. I didn't make it to a mill.
Fire sale or burnout, huh?
Isn't enough. Everything's gone. Except for this calculator, which I got free for subscribing to Barron's. Sorry, Saab went for a yodel.
You're fine. So, what's the grand total?
$962,281.15. So close.
Nothing left to sell but your soul.
That's it.
Yeah, I had to open my mouth.
How much am I worth? My body.
Chemically, about $8.
No. What about my organs?
You have to be dead.
Not necessarily. You can sell a kidney. You can live on one lung. Blood. Sperm. Oh, I smell highest bidder prospects here. How much can you get for gray market bone marrow?
Where have you been? And who is he?
Mr. Knox invented an artificial heart, and I told him he could see Mr. Spooner.
Well, get him the hell out of here. Spooner's taken a nosedive.
What's wrong?
Down 6 units, pronounced respiratory difficulty.
Upper or lower?
We don't know. I said, get this hurdy-gurdy man out of here. I'm on my way to radiology.
Mr. Spooner's x-rays. I thought I'd save time.
Bilateral large pleural effusions.
Probably the missing blood.
Compressing the lungs, that's why he's been short of breath.
I ran into the same problem myself. Turned out the blood was leaking from a fracture in the housing.
Did you reach Dr. Warner?
On a plane from Missouri.
Damn. Couldn't be the heart.
A stitch could have pulled in the dacron cuff. That'll be trouble.
Ehrlich, will you take
Sir,
him?
what if it is the heart? When you implanted the 9000, we had to replace a faulty vent.
Could be the source of the leak.
You'll have to implant another unit. Installing new vents alone could breach the integrity of the Cortrex seals.
Wade, bring up the reserve heart and have OR2 prepped for implant. Ehrlich, get some chest tubes into Mr. Spooner. And until Warner gets back, you stay with me. Come on.
Hello. Nice to see you back.
Thanks. Between the condition of my office and dealing with patients, it's not been an exactly triumphant return. I just put some papers on your desk. Who's that woman sitting in your office?
Mrs. Jeffries. Sweet, but very lonely. I wish I could make her feel vital. I'd like a listing of your private nurses for her.
Sure. It's over here.
Helen, while we have a minute alone, after your operation, I became suspicious of your use of medication.
It was so foolish of me to have taken those Valiums. Here we are.
I had a complete drug screen run on you.
What?
Tests showed not only Valium, but traces of quite a few other drugs.
That was an invasion of my privacy.
Helen, I was concerned.
Get out.
Mr. Post? Mr. Edward Post. Please see the cashier.
Dr. PM, I'm sorry. I'd like to pick Pete up from daycare.
How is your little boy?
He's okay. He's an interview for admission to a private school.
Any trouble adjusting to your wife's absence?
Well, he misses her. I'm thinking of grabbing a super saver. Going for a long weekend. He could see Joanne. Sure make his grandparents happy.
Why did I think of that?
I should take the stairs.
Where have you been? Pharmacy. I need confirmation. You Catholic, Greek Orthodox. And I mean this kind of confirmation.
Pregnancy test?
Lots of blood from the chest drain.
Increased pressure on the blood bags. Get those units into them.
Has to be more than a slow leak. The whole vent must be gone.
Henry and I talked about what to do if there were problems.
Your husband will be fine.
Marguerite.
I'm here. Henry,
Hang in there, Mr. Spooner. Think about fishing on Penobscot Bay.
something's wrong. He stopped breathing. Sweetheart.
Have your bag. When we get to OR, we'll intubate and put him on a respirator. Stat.
Dr. Craig.
Let's move it.
His lungs have stopped inflating.
Squeeze harder, Wade.
It's no good. The chest tube must be blocked. What's happening?
The heart's beating him to death.
Mrs. Spooner, you better stay here.
No, stop! Stop!
Mrs. Spooner, there's no time.
Henry's not breathing.
We can save him.
He didn't want to be saved. We agreed. No more extreme measures. No respirator. No more machines.
Ehrlich.
Gold's closing at a 3-month high.
Mitchell, stop doing this.
Let me go.
Hey, knock it off!
Get the pliers.
What?
Get the pliers.
I still got 2 more. My gold.
I've had it with you!
You all right?
Yeah, I think so. It's just a little tender from the surgery. I came in to check on Mr. Mitchell, and I found him extracting his own tooth.
Gold.
Let's get into psych.
How's work?
They got me restoring a painting by Mondrian.
Mondrian's a square.
Brett, I need a vacation. What'd you decide about St. Bart's?
No.
Come on.
You go.
I'm not going without you.
Kevin, when I get out of here, if I get out, I'm going to move back with my parents in Wisconsin.
You and Big Bjorn? Well, I can just see you two right now, entered in the Winter Carnival Dad and Lad snowshoe race.
I need to spend time with my parents. Sorry, Kevin.
Why are you shutting me out like this?
Because you shouldn't give up your life to nurse me.
That's my choice.
No, it isn't, Kevin. We've watched AIDS destroy friends. I'm going to turn into a shriveled up bag of bones. My brain is going to be fried because of AIDS dementia. I don't want you to see me like that.
I have the AIDS antibody, too.
That's all the more reason I don't want you to be screwed up being around me.
I love you.
That doesn't change my mind. You just remember me the way I am right now.
Dr. Kim, you spent too much of your day fussing over me.
My pleasure.
And you haven't told me where we're going.
Right here.
I don't understand.
I have decided to start an adoptive grandparents program here at St. Eligius, and I'd like you to be the first. Mrs. Jeffries, this is Blanca Perez. She and her parents just moved here from Guatemala.
Hello, Blanca. Oh, you darling. Nice.
That's Morrison's patient.
Yes?
Told him to release her.
Me too. Until I stop thinking about procedures and listen to the patient's needs. Mrs. Jeffries has agreed to in-house physical therapy. The hospital has gained a useful volunteer that will help free up our own resources, which should please you.
Same thing every time. You always check the machines first.
You're still here.
I've been making funeral arrangements.
Mrs. Spooner. I'm sorry.
Strangely enough, I feel relieved. The waiting is over.
Yes, I suppose.
Sitting here with Henry. I used to watch a lot of people coming in and out of this room. There were things that would even ease his pain. A nurse flirting. An orderly making Henry laugh with some silly story about a fight with his girlfriend. And then you'd come in and check the machines. Earlier today, Henry said he didn't feel human anymore. You didn't know what he meant because you never knew the human side of my husband.
I didn't. You're right, I never knew him.
Even with the artificial implant, Henry had more heart than you.
Hey, Luther. Hear about your pal, Mr. Mitchell?
He's not my pal.
Tapioca.
Yeah, looks good.
No, I mean Mitchell. An ipso nutso. Did the minor 49er in his own mouth. So desperate to make $1 million before he died, he started pulling out his own gold fillings. You know what the real bugaboo is? He's not dying at all. Lab test showed lead poisoning.
I thought that only happened in rundown neighborhoods like mine. Kids eating paint chips.
Neighborhoods have been overtaken by upscale professionals. Mitchell probably inhaled lead paint dust while he was refurbishing his condo. A week of chelation therapy would be fine.
Seen a lot of people die around here. Most usually get more spiritual. Talk about God, the meaning of life.
Yeah, I'm a lot like Mitchell. I got into medicine for the money, prestige. Seen the guy yank out his own molar. I don't know, maybe it's worrying about whether or not I have AIDS, or maybe it's being a doctor. I'm going through some priority changes. What time is it?
1:30.
Nice watch.
Cartier. Got it cheap.
Trademark infringement.
Want me to explain it again?
Nope. I have enough trouble trying to understand Marx and my divorce proceedings.
Nothing sticks to St. Eligius.
What's the corporation's new name?
Haven't the faintest. On that note,
Cold up there.
we still on for tonight?
You bet.
How about afterwards?
Mr. Knox, where are you going?
Back to Mojave.
Giving up your claim to the Craig 9000?
My implant failed. The vent broke and contributed to Mr. Spooner's death. I feel responsible.
That's all the more reason not to give it up.
Won't quit. Continuing my work, Herkimer and I. We're going to try to build a better prototype, one that can sustain life. You know, people think the heart is just a pump, but the human heart is a miracle. It's an elegant, sweet thing, fitted to us perfectly. Goodbye, Victor.
Bye. Elliot.
Elliot. 5 more minutes, please.
Elliot.
What?
You're on call.
I am? Oh, I slept through my time off. I never left. Oh, no. Oh.
Well, Mr. Spooner's dead.
Oh, for crying out loud, Ehrlich. Can't we talk about something else?
I miss Henry.
When we were rushing to OR, you told him to remember fishing on Penobscot Bay. What was that about?
His favorite hobby at his favorite vacation spot. Loved to talk about angling in Maine.
You and Spooner got along.
Poor Henry. Took care of him the way Aztec priests take care of virgins.
The resources of a big corporation make it easy to forget what's important. Or maybe it's just us.
Actually, sir, I think it's just you. Sorry. You know, I'm glad the company has to change its name. Ecumena sounded like a disease, a rash, a growth. He was disfigured by a severe case of ecumena.
Maybe the artificial heart's a good thing, but it's not for me.
Of course not, dummy.
Watch it, balsa breath.
Sorry again, sir. I only meant that you've already got a perfectly good wooden heart.
Marguerite thought so, too. Know why I never got close to Henry? Because deep down, all along, I knew he was going to die. And I couldn't face that.
can't face this.
When Gideon offered me the artificial heart program, I jumped at the chance. Even though my marriage was falling apart and my instincts were against it, I couldn't resist the challenge to succeed. My own needs have always superseded everything else. That's cost me my son, Ellen, Henry Spooner.
Okay, gotta pick up our spirits. Maestro, music, please.
You've gotta have heart. All you really need is heart. When the odds say you'll never win, that's when the grin should start. Jump in, sir. You gotta have heart. Miles and miles and miles apart. Always fine to be a genius, of course, but keep that old horse